Winter nights are very quiet. Too quiet. In December 2008, a small village in northern Europe was covered in heavy snow. The roads were white, the trees were frozen, and the air felt sharp like a knife. People here slept early. After 9 p.m., no one stayed outside. The cold was dangerous, and the darkness felt alive. A man named Daniel lived alone in a wooden house near the forest. He worked as a night security guard in a nearby factory. Every night at 11:30 p.m., he walked the same road to his house. The road passed near the forest and then crossed a frozen open field. That night, the temperature was -18 degrees. Daniel pulled his coat tighter and walked faster. Snow was falling slowly, covering his footsteps. The village lights were far behind him now. Only the moonlight showed the path ahead. Then he stopped. Someone was standing in the field. At first, Daniel thought it was a tree or a shadow. But then it moved. A man stood there, completely still. He was far away, maybe 30 meters. He wore dark clothes, no hat, no gloves. That was strange. No one could stand in this cold without protection. Daniel felt uneasy. "Hey!" he shouted. No answer. The man did not move. Daniel laughed nervously and kept walking. Maybe it was a drunk villager. Maybe his eyes were tired. But after a few steps, he looked again. The man was closer now. Daniel stopped walking. How did he move so fast, he thought. The snow was deep. Running was almost impossible. "Hello?" Daniel said, his voice shaking. Still no answer. The man's face was pale. Too pale. His eyes looked dark, like empty holes. His mouth was slightly open, but no breath came out. No smoke. No sound. Daniel felt fear crawl into his chest. He turned around and walked faster. Crunch. Crunch. Footsteps. Behind him. Daniel did not look back. His heart was beating hard. The footsteps were slow, but always the same distance behind him. Crunch. Crunch. Suddenly, the footsteps stopped. Daniel turned around. No one was there. The field was empty. Snow. Silence. He felt stupid for being scared. He laughed again and continued walking. That's when he heard a whisper. "Daniel." His blood turned cold. No one knew his name here. He ran. Daniel ran as fast as he could, slipping on ice, breathing hard. His house was near now. He could see the light from his window. Then he fell. As he tried to stand, he felt something grab his ankle. Ice-cold fingers. Daniel screamed and kicked wildly. He looked down. The man from the field was on the ground, half buried in snow, holding his leg. The man's skin looked blue. His eyes were wide open. His mouth moved slowly. "Don't leave me in the cold." Daniel pulled his leg free and ran. He did not look back. Inside his house, he locked the door, shaking. He checked the windows. Nothing. No one. He told himself it was stress. The cold. His imagination. That night, he did not sleep. The next morning, the village woke to police sirens. A body was found in the open field. A man frozen to death. The police said the man died 3 days ago. Daniel felt sick. He went to the police station and told everything. The officer listened carefully. His face turned serious. "Did he speak to you?" the officer asked. "Yes," Daniel whispered. "Last night." The officer showed Daniel a photo. It was the same man. His name was Marcus, the officer said. He got lost in the snowstorm 3 nights ago. We searched for him. Daniel stared at the photo. But I saw him move, Daniel said. He followed me. The officer looked uncomfortable. You are not the first one, he said quietly. Daniel's heart dropped. The officer opened a file. Inside were written statements. Different names. Different years. Same story. A man seen in the field during winter. Silent. Cold. Following people home. Always asking one thing. Don't leave me in the cold. The officer closed the file. Every winter, he said, someone sees him. Daniel left the station in shock. That night, snow started falling again. Daniel sat inside, lights on, curtains closed. Then. Crunch. Crunch. Footsteps outside his house. Slow. Heavy. Stopping right at his door. A whisper came through the wood. Daniel. He held his breath. The door handle moved. Very slowly. Daniel did not open the door. The handle stopped moving. Outside, everything was silent again. No footsteps. No wind. No sound. Daniel waited for a long time, holding his breath. His heart was beating so loud, he thought the thing outside could hear it. After a few minutes, he slowly walked to the window and looked through a small gap in the curtain. The snow outside was untouched. No footprints. Nothing. Still, Daniel did not sleep. The next day, Daniel took leave from work. He stayed inside, drinking hot coffee, trying to calm his mind. But the image of the man's face kept coming back. Pale skin. Dark eyes. Frozen lips moving slowly. That evening, Daniel visited an old woman named Anna. She lived at the edge of the village and was known to know many old stories. People said she remembered everything. When Daniel told her what happened, her hands started shaking. You saw him, she said quietly. Saw who? Daniel asked. The cold walker. Daniel felt his stomach drop. Anna looked at the window before speaking again. He is not alive, she said. And he is not fully dead. She told Daniel a story. More than 60 years ago, a group of men were caught in a winter storm. One of them fell and could not stand. The others were afraid. If they stopped, they would all die. So they left him. The man screamed for help as the snow covered his body. He froze, slowly. But winter does not forget fear, Anna said. And it does not forgive. Since then, people started seeing a man in the snow every winter. Always alone. Always silent. And if someone hears him speak? Daniel asked. Anna looked straight into Daniel's eyes. He follows them, she said. Until they make the same choice. Daniel swallowed. What choice? To leave someone in the cold, or not? That night, the village lost power. Total darkness. Daniel sat with candles lit. The cold felt stronger. His phone had no signal. Then he heard it again. Crunch. Crunch. Footsteps. This time, not outside. Inside the house. Daniel froze. The sound came from the hallway. Slow. Heavy. Crunch. Impossible. Snow fell from the ceiling. A dark shape appeared at the end of the hall. The man stood there. Closer than ever. His clothes were torn. Ice covered his skin. His eyes were not empty anymore. They were angry. You saw me, the man said in a broken voice. You ran. Daniel backed away. I didn't leave you, Daniel cried. I didn't know. The man stepped forward. Snow melted under his feet, turning black. They all say that, he whispered. The temperature dropped suddenly. Daniel could see his breath inside the house. The man raised his frozen hand and pointed at Daniel. Someone must stay. The lights flickered. Daniel grabbed the door and ran outside into the snow. The cold hit him hard. The village was dark and silent. No houses had lights. No help. Behind him, the footsteps followed. Crunch. Crunch. Daniel ran toward the forest, not thinking, only running. Suddenly, he saw something ahead. A child. A small boy stood near a fallen tree, crying. Daniel stopped. The boy wore thin clothes. He was shaking. "Please," the boy said. "I'm cold." Daniel's mind screamed. This was not real. It couldn't be. The footsteps behind him stopped. The air felt heavy. Daniel remembered Anna's words. Until they make the same choice. If he stopped, the thing behind him would take him. If he left the child would die. Daniel walked toward the boy. The footsteps started again. Closer. Daniel took off his coat and wrapped it around the boy. "Come with me," Daniel said. The boy looked up. His eyes were dark. Too dark. The crying stopped. The boy smiled. The footsteps stopped. The forest went silent. The boy slowly faded, turning into snow, falling apart like dust in the wind. Daniel fell to his knees, crying. Behind him, there was nothing. No man. No sound. Only snow. The next morning, power returned. The village was normal again. But Daniel changed. Every winter after that, Daniel stayed awake at night. Sometimes, he hears footsteps far away. But they never come close anymore. Because now, the cold walker walks beside him. Not behind. Winter came again. 1 year passed. Then another. Daniel still lived in the same house. Same road. Same forest. But he was no longer the same man. Every winter night, he felt it. The cold. Not on his skin, but inside his chest. Daniel stopped working night shifts. He helped people in winter instead. He checked on old neighbors. He gave food to the homeless. When snowstorms came, he stayed outside, helping anyone who was lost. But no matter what he did, the footsteps never fully left. Crunch. Crunch. Always beside him. Never behind. One night, during the coldest storm of the year, Daniel received a call from the village police. A man was missing. Lost near the forest. Daniel knew what that meant. He put on his coat and went outside. The wind screamed. Snow cut his face like glass. Visibility was almost zero. As Daniel walked, he felt a presence next to him. He did not look. "You cannot save everyone," a voice whispered. Daniel stopped. "I know," he said. "But I can try." They reached the open field. A man lay on the ground, barely moving. His lips were blue. His eyes were full of fear. Daniel ran to him, lifting him up. "I'm here," Daniel said. "You're not alone." The cold around them grew stronger. The presence stepped in front of Daniel. The cold walker appeared. He looked clearer now. More human. More tired. Every winter, the cold walker said, "Someone must be left." Daniel shook his head. "No," he said. "That ends tonight." The cold walker stared at him. "Then you take his place." The wind stopped. Silence. Daniel understood. This was the price. He helped the frozen man to his feet and pointed toward the village lights. "Walk," Daniel said. "Don't stop." The man ran. Daniel turned back. Snow covered his boots. His fingers went numb. "You will freeze," the cold walker said. Daniel smiled weakly. "Then I won't be alone," he replied. The cold walker looked at Daniel for a long time. Then, something changed. The snow slowed. The darkness lifted. "I was left," the cold walker whispered. "No one came back." Daniel nodded. "I came back." The cold walker's body started to crack like ice in the sun. "I only wanted someone to stay," he said softly. Light spread across the field. The cold walker faded, turning into snow, peaceful this time. Daniel fell to the ground. Cold. Dark. Morning came. Villagers found Daniel unconscious in the field. He survived. But part of the winter stayed inside him forever. Now, every year, when snow falls heavily, people say they see two sets of footprints in the field. One human. One made of ice. And sometimes, lost travelers feel a hand on their shoulder, guiding them home. Because winter still takes lives. But now, someone walks in the cold. So others don't have to.